present you Rita.
Good morning, education leaders. Welcome to the Ed Leadership Event 2024.
डॉक्टर सुनीता गांधी जब आई अपने उस पेडागोजिकल एक इनोवेशन के साथ, जिसे ये ऑलरेडी कुछ जगहों पर ट्राई कर चुकी थी, और उस समय डीएलएड के बच्चे इंटर्नशिप के लिए जाने वाले थे, तो मैंने कहा कि चलो इस बार के इंटर्नशिप में बच्चे इसी पेडागोजी का इस्तेमाल कर लें, एंड द रिजल्ट वाज अमेजिंग, ग्रेट। वो बच्चे भी जो उस समय डीएलएड कर रहे थे, इवन दे वर अमेज्ड कि कोई ऐसी भी पेडागोजी है जिससे बच्चों को क्विक लर्निंग दी जा सकती है। टीचर के पढ़ाने के तरीके कुछ भी हो सकते हैं, यहीं पर सारा इनोवेशन है कि सभी को पता है कि हमारा जो अल्टीमेट एसडीजी गोल है वहां तक हमें अपने बच्चे को पहुंचाना है। उस पहुंचाने के लिए अगर हमें कोई ऐसी पेडागोजी मिलती है, अगर ऐसी कोई टेक्नोलॉजी मिलती है जिससे हम अपने बच्चों में प्रोफिशिएंसी भी ला सकते हैं, अंडरस्टैंडिंग भी ला सकते हैं, और एक उनका जो ग्राउंडिंग है, अगर उनकी ग्राउंडिंग इतनी मजबूत हो सकती है तो हमें ऐसी पेडागोजी का इस्तेमाल करना चाहिए। एक अच्छा टीचर तो वही हुआ कि वो कैसा भी पढ़ाए, बच्चे की समझ में आना चाहिए। Anything that leads to learning is a great pedagogy.
Peer learning is very much concept of the निपुण यात्रा। जो हमारा निपुण भारत मिशन है उसमें जो हमारी संदर्शिकाएं आई हैं, जो हमको गवर्नमेंट ने हमें स्ट्रक्चर्ड पेडागोजी के जो मॉड्यूल्स दिए हैं, उसमें peer learning forms a concrete part। और उसको मैम ने जो अपनी बुक और अपने टीचिंग मटेरियल और अपने TLM के थ्रू टीचर्स को ट्रेन करके वर्कशॉप करके क्लासेस में इंप्लीमेंट कराना, peer learning को बढ़ावा देना। न्यूमरेसी में आई हैव सीन उनके किट में काफी सामान ऐसा था जहां पे बच्चों को देयर वाज लॉट ऑफ मैथमेटिक्स गोइंग ऑन इन देयर माइंड, इन देयर कॉग्निटिव डोमेन, और उसके वजह से विदाउट पेन एंड पेपर द रिजल्ट्स वर वेरी क्विक। दैट वाज इन अकॉर्डेंस कि हम जब कॉग्निटिव डोमेन को टच करते हैं बच्चों की, तो नोन टू अननोन चीजें जल्दी सामने आती हैं।
जब से ये मैंने इम्प्लीमेंट किया है, जो अल्फा पद्धति है, उससे मतलब बहुत क्विक रिस्पांस मिला है हमको। बच्चे पहले पढ़ना लिखना नहीं सीख पाते थे, लेकिन और टीचर हर समय लगा रहता था, लेकिन नहीं, अभी जब हम उनको पेयर में बैठा देते हैं, शुरुआत में थोड़ी सी वो होती है, लेकिन जब वो उस पद्धति में आ जाते हैं तो वो एक्साइटेड रहते हैं। लंच के समय मैम चलिए पढ़ना है हमें, मैम बैठाइए, मतलब दे आर मोर एक्साइटेड। और जो है का जो
ये एक बड़ी उपलब्धि थी। अल्फा इंटेंसिव प्रोग्राम देवी संस्थान के माध्यम से हमारे पूरे 155 विद्यालयों में चल रहा था। ऑन एन एवरेज 30 विद्यालय हम सभी सुपरवाइज कर रहे हैं। उस सब में एक बड़ा एक्सपीरियंस से निकल करके आया कि मैडम की पूरी टीम का जो भी प्रयास रहा है वो अल्फा इंटेंसिव प्रोग्राम का एक बड़ा रिजल्ट है कि जनपद उन्नाव का इकलौता विकास खंड है।
But we are going to learn it in a different way. So one snap means one once.
Okay.
Right. And then
One
one
clap.
clap means 110.
110. All right.
Right. So here we go.
$42.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, it's your turn now.
Okay.
Give me some bigger number.
जो मैंने अल्फा की ट्रेनिंग ली थी, मेरा पूरा ग्रुप भी लिया था विद्यालय परिवार, और उससे हमारे बच्चों को बहुत ही ज़्यादा फायदा मिलती है, क्योंकि एक जोड़े में बैठा के कार्य करना बच्चों को बहुत पसंद आता है। और तमाम उससे सर भाषा पढ़ने में तो बहुत ज़्यादा और ज़्यादा रोचक हो गया है भाषा पढ़ाना हमारे लिए। बहुत ज़्यादा इंटरेस्टेड भी होते हैं बच्चे अल्फा की बुक्स पढ़ के।
मैं प्रधानाध्यापक विद्यालय सराय से ब्लॉक पेडगॉजी जनपद बाराबंकी से। जनवरी माह में जो अल्फा की ट्रेनिंग हुई है उसके तहत हम लोगों ने शिक्षा कार्य किया, और वर्तमान में वो चालू रूप से चल भी रहा है। उससे बच्चों को बड़े फायदे भी, और बच्चे जोड़ों के रूप में सीख रहे हैं। जोड़ों के रूप में सीख के और बच्चे प्रोत्साहित भी हो रहे हैं। निचली कक्षाओं में भी, ऊपरी कक्षा 5 तक के भी मटेरियल दिए गए, बच्चों के लिए किताबें दी गई, बच्चों को उसको पढ़ाया गया और बहुत अच्छा रिजल्ट उसका आ रहा है।
देवी संस्थान द्वारा हम हमारे अध्यापकों को, प्राथमिक विभाग के जो अध्यापक हैं उनको अल्फा की ट्रेनिंग दी गई थी, गणित विषय की, हिंदी विषय की, जिससे हमारे बच्चों ने और हमारे अध्यापकों ने बहुत अच्छा अध्यापकों प्रभाव पड़ा, बच्चों प्रभाव पड़ा। वे जोड़ की कला में, घटाने की कला में, या इकाई, दहाई, सैकड़ा, स्थानीय मान, इन सब चीजों में अभ्यस्त होते जा रहे हैं। बच्चे इसमें रुचि भी ले रहे हैं, उनको मजा भी आ रहा है, इससे खेल खेल में वो शिक्षा प्राप्त कर रहे हैं। मैं देवी संस्थान के द्वारा जो अल्फा कार्यक्रम आयोजित की गई है उसका बहुत अच्छा असर पड़ा हमारे विद्यालय पर, इसके लिए मैं उनको देवी संस्थान को धन्यवाद प्रदान करता हूँ।
और जो देवी संस्थान द्वारा चलाया गया जो अल्फा कार्यक्रम है, जिसका मैंने प्रशिक्षण लिया, प्रशिक्षण लेने के बाद में अपने विद्यालय में आकर अपने बच्चों को ये जो कार्यक्रम से जोड़ा, और ये जो उनका कार्यक्रम था, ये कार्यक्रम बहुत अच्छा रहा। इस कार्यक्रम में बच्चों को जोड़े में बैठाकर बच्चों को शिक्षा दी गई, जिससे बच्चे जो है अच्छा महसूस कर रहे थे। और जो ये हमारे बच्चे थे, 2 अक्षर शब्द जो है पढ़ना सीख गए। और ये देवी संस्थान की जो ये योजना थी, ये हमारे बच्चों को बहुत पसंद आई, और हमारे जितने शिक्षक भी उनको भी पसंद आई, जिससे हमारे बच्चों का बौद्धिक विकास और मानसिक विकास, ये सारे विकास उनका जो है हुआ। और हम देवी संस्थान को इस बात के लिए, इस जो योजना के लिए धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ।
Well, a very warm welcome and good afternoon to all of you. My name is Tom and I'm here with Milita. It's great to have you joining us again today from around India and around the world. I'm already seeing in the chat quite a few people who have joined already. So a very warm welcome to Donut from Rwanda and Dr. Urfana from Kashmir, Ruhi Sultana also from Kashmir. And I know yesterday we had people joining us from Manipur, from Malaysia, from all around the world as well. So it's fantastic to have you with us again today. Please do share this link with your friends and colleagues. Ask them to come on as well, because we've got an action-packed session today. A lot of fun, lots of great numeracy activities we're going to be doing with you today. So if you haven't introduced yourself in the chat, please do. We'd love to hear your name, where you're from, how long you've been working in education. Just share a little bit about yourself. So without spending too much time on introductions today, I think we'll go right in and open up our PowerPoint. And we've got an action-packed session today. So I'd like to request all of you, if you haven't yet got this, please run into your kitchen, run outside. You need to find at least 2 different objects, and maybe 10 or 15 of each of them. So we're going to do a lot of hands-on activities today. So Milith and I, we have got some ice cream sticks to represent 10s and matchsticks to represent 1s. But you can use absolutely anything, right? So please do share in the chat, what you're planning to use today. Go into the kitchen, grab it. It could be spoons, it could be bottle caps, it could be absolutely anything. So please run, grab it, get at least 15 or so of 2 different items, one to use as 1s and one to use as 10s. So I'm waiting for your response in the chat as to what you are planning to use today for your 1s and 10s. Milita, can you offer a few more suggestions? What type of objects can people use for 1s and 10s?
See, it can be anything that is in their, as you said, in their kitchen, or anything that is around them. It can be, rajma beans for 1s, and a bigger bean for, for 10s. It can be, a pen that can represent a 10, and the cap of that pen can be representing 1s. It can be a sharpener and a pencil, different colors of pencil also. I think color pencil can be also used, as well as you can have coins and note, a coin representing 1 and a note representing 10s, or anything that is there in your house or in your place that is there within your vicinity. You can just grab it and it will be really helpful.
That's right. So we would love to hear your thoughts in the chat of what you are going to use today for the hands-on activities, because Milith and I are going to be doing a lot of fun addition, subtraction, multiplication, division activities, and it's going to be a lot more interesting for you if you actually do it yourself as well, wherever you are watching from, rather than don't just watch us, do it yourself. So I'm seeing many more people have introduced themselves in the chat. That's wonderful. We have Suchita ma'am from Imphal, Ramabati Devi from headmistress of Lairak Primary School, Christina, we have Alina, we have Reena. Fantastic. A lot of guests joining us from Manipur. Very, very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us today. And if you just joined now, we're encouraging you to find any counters, anything really, any concrete objects to use for numeracy activities today. So where ALfA has been in use in Uttar Pradesh and Himachal Pradesh, we have normally been using matchsticks as 1s and ice cream sticks as 10s. But it can be absolutely anything. Even you can go outside and find some sticks and leaves and flowers. Can be really zero-cost material, biodegradable, sustainable materials, absolutely anything. The key is when the kids are using these hands-on approaches, they are learning much more easily and much more effectively. So I trust that you have run outside, found some sticks and stones and leaves or whatever, and we can proceed now and go on to some really fun activities. So back on my PowerPoint, please. And yeah, So what are we going to be discussing today? Let's take a quick overview. We're going to spend most of the day, most of the couple of hours doing some hands-on math activities together. Then towards the end, we will also be looking through the ALfA numeracy book. So like you saw yesterday with the English book, today also we'll be flipping through quickly the numeracy book. And at the end of the day, there'll be a quiz. So please do stay for that. Stay around and do the quiz to get the certificate and also get access to the numeracy books. We'll also have time for Q&A, and we'll also show you another video of classroom implementation of these numeracy activities. And please stay active in the chat. I know yesterday also it was quite a small group, but you were all very active in the chat, so we really enjoyed that. So please do keep posting your thoughts and comments in the chat. And just in case you missed it yesterday, many of you were here yesterday as well. So in case you missed the link for the quiz at the end of the day, I've asked my team to just post that in the chat. So if you missed that, please do go and fill in the quiz from yesterday. You'll get a certificate, and you'll also get access to the English materials. We'll be sending that by email. I think many of you who are joining today, I'm recognizing some of the names, and I think some of you would have already received an email from our side this morning with the link to the English book and also a certificate. So thank you all for introducing yourselves. We've got Naresh Maitai, we've got Preeti Ali, wonderful. So some people joining us from UP as well, I think, and a lot of guests from Manipur, so that's fantastic. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into our activities. So in ALfA, in numeracy, we are going for a concrete to abstract approach. Can you say, what do we mean by this? When we're talking about concrete and abstract, what is concrete? What is abstract?
Okay, when we are talking about from concrete to abstract, abstract being the numbers that we have. So it's generally an abstract thing for a child who is there in our classroom, or for an adult also who is there in whom we are teaching. So for them, this number, it's just a representation of a number, is an abstract thing. But with ALfA, every concept that we are introducing, the concrete objects, help him or her to visualize maths.
Right.
So it becomes very, it is visual. He or she can feel maths as he or she is doing or solving the numerical problems.
Okay, fantastic, great explanation, Milita. So let's give a demonstration of what this means. So in numeracy, we introduce a snap, a finger snap, as a 1, and we have the matchstick also as 1. So we have a kinesthetic approach, the snap, and also a physical approach, the matchstick. And we use both of these before we go on to the written number. So Milita, I'm not going to do the number on screen because that would be too easy. Can I snap a different number for you?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so I'm going to snap a number, and I'm going to ask all of you in the audience to listen carefully, see what number I have snapped, and post in the chat what number it is. Okay, so here we go. Ready? Okay, that's my number. I'm going to ask Milita to represent it using matchsticks. And I'm also going to ask you all to please post in the chat. I know there may have been some internet lag, but can you please post in the chat what number I had snapped? Please do post in the chat what number I had snapped. And meanwhile, Milita is getting it out here on the table. Great.
So, Tom, as you were representing this idea, so first of all, you had this kinesthetic of snapping.
Yes.
I represented it through a concrete object.
Yes.
So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
Now I can write it down on a sheet of paper.
Great.
So it becomes an abstract thing for me.
Fantastic.
So it's like, going from the kinesthetic to the concrete to the abstract.
Right. And if we can just zoom in a little here, you can see. So we started with the snapping, the kinesthetic, then we went on to the concrete, and now we've gone to the abstract, the written number. And as many of you have posted in the chat, in fact, ironically, so far 5 people have posted in the chat, and the correct answer is 5. So that's funny. Excellent. We've got Ruhi, Rombati. Oh, now there's 6 people. Great, great. So yeah, please be active in the chat. We're going to ask a lot of questions, and we want to hear your questions as well and respond to them as best we can. So beautiful. So that's really simple, okay? Just a single-digit number. Now this, we'll be seeing how we can do this in the classroom as well. But let's think about two-digit numbers as well, right? This is often a confusion for kids. If there's the number, say, 25, then they're thinking, okay, is this 2? This is 5, but why is it 25, not 7, right? So for this, we have a clap we represent as 10, okay? So a 10 is a clap, and a snap is 1. So let's try again. This time, Militha, it's your turn. You can clap and snap a number for me, and I will try to represent it.
Okay. So I'll clap and snap to make a number for you, and you have to guess it. Okay.
Sure.
So as you said, this is tens and this is ones.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm thinking in my mind a number. So I am making the number.
Okay. Okay, you've been a bit tricky here. You've put the ones first, but let's hear it in the chat. What number did Militha clap and snap?
So I was wrong in making the number.
Well, normally we would start with the clapping, if possible.
Okay, so why should I start from the clapping?
Well, we're starting with the bigger number, right? We're starting with the more important thing. Like supposing we are eating food, we'll start with the main course, and then we'll go on to the snacks afterwards. So in the same way, in maths as well, we're starting with the bigger number and going on to the smaller number. So do you want to clap and snap the number again?
Okay.
Okay, wow, now you're being really tricky because it's a different number to what you snapped the first time. So people have got it, you got it correct. Militha's first number she made was 23. That's absolutely right. And the second number she made, Militha is being very tricky, I think on purpose. But the second number she made, so now I'm going to represent this using my concrete objects as well. Okay, and we can have the close-up on this side, please. So this was the first number Militha made. So we had 2 claps and 3 snaps, right? This was the first number you made, 23. And the second number we had made was, I think, 33, right? 3 claps and 3 snaps. So that would be 1 more 10. So 3 claps and 3 snaps. Beautiful. And I'm looking in the chat. Everybody has got it as well. Militha was trying to trick you, but she didn't succeed. Well done. So 33. Now you might be thinking, okay, this is still pretty simple, pretty basic stuff. You're right. So let's go for a 3-digit number. So Militha, for 3 digits, we're going to introduce the shoulder tap as the 100. Okay? So shoulder tap is 100, clap is 10, and snap is 1. That's my turn now?
Okay, yes.
Okay, beautiful. Here we go. Ready? Listening, everybody? Here we go. Okay, what number was that?
You did not do tens.
Yes, very good observation. So everybody, looking forward in the chat, what number did I clap and snap out?
Oh, so you clapped and snapped, but you didn't also, you had the tapped,
yes.
and you did not clap,
yes,
and you snapped.
Yes.
So for 100, you said was tap.
Yes.
And for 100, I am representing it as a bundle of ice cream stick.
Yeah, beautiful. So if you can see everybody here, we have our number bank laid out. We've got a little strip here as well, which is showing us, okay, here are the ones, all the ice cream, the matchsticks, sorry. Here are the tens, all the ice cream sticks. And if we have 10 tens, that makes 100. So we have the bundle of 10 ice cream sticks. Okay, Militha, you were saying, what number was it?
Okay. So let me try it out. I think you did a shoulder tap twice, and you did not do tens. So you did not clap. And I think you did this. That is 2 times shoulder tap, no clap, and 3 snaps.
That's really close, Militha. A good try, but I actually did 3 shoulder taps and 2 snaps.
Okay. So let me try. So this.
Yeah, well done. High five.
See, you did 302.
302. Can you try writing this as well?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And I'm seeing in the chat, lots of people got this already. 302. Beautiful. Wonderful. Very nice. So let's take it one step further, one final step further. Let's try a 4-digit number. So Milita, do you want to try introducing the fourth digit?
Okay, for the 4-digit number, this is the fourth one, or to say this is thousands.
Okay, thousands.
And I am representing it with an ice cream, with a spoon.
Okay.
With a wooden spoon, I am
Nice.
representing
Very
a
nice.
1,000. And I am representing 1,000 with a overhead clap.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Okay. So let me give you a number.
Okay.
And you have to guess and tell. Okay.
Sure. Okay, so Milita clapped and snapped a number. Let's hear it in the chat. I'm waiting for your response in the chat as well while I try to represent this number using my concrete objects. So I think there were 2 overhead claps. There were 2 shoulder taps. There were 2 claps. And I think there was only 1 snap.
Yes.
So I think this number is 2,221. Okay, that's how I represent this number. And you can see how the written work for the number really aligns beautifully with the concrete objects, right? So we had 2 thousands here, and we have 2 written here. We have 2 hundreds, we have 2 written here. 2 tens, that's written here, and 1 1, that's written here. So the same order that we lay the objects is the order we write the number in. So that's why we're talking about this as a concrete to abstract approach. There's the concrete object, there's the kinesthetic, there's the concrete objects, and then there's the written work. So I'm looking in the chat as well. Wow, looks like a lot of people got that. 2,221. Reena, Romeshoy, Alfred, Romabati, Lilabati, and Ruhi. Fantastic work. Great. So now let me ask you a different question. We've asked you a lot of maths questions. You've got it straight off the bat. But let me ask you this. What do you think is the advantage of this approach in numeracy? What's the advantage of using this concrete to abstract approach, using these types of activities in numeracy? Because it's very different from the normal method. You know, Milita, you and I, when in school, did we learn using this method?
No.
No, not at all. We learned that the teacher was writing on the board with chalk. We were copying it down in our notebooks. So it was a very different method. So I'd like to hear your thoughts in the chat. What do you think are the advantages of using this sort of activity-based and hands-on approach to maths, of using concrete objects like ice cream sticks, matchsticks, or leaves, or spoons, or whatever? What's the advantage of using that, using clapping and snapping to represent numbers? What do you think the children gain from this? So while I'm waiting to hear your thoughts in the chat, I'd like to hear your thoughts too, Milita, because you shared yesterday that maths was a subject you didn't used to like at school.
Yes.
But what is different about it using this method? What is helpful in this method?
See, what I often believe is when we are being told, what happens in maths is, I have done all the calculations very correctly, and I have to represent the answer. So it often happens when I'm writing the numbers, instead of, supposedly the answer is 63.
Yes.
I have in mind 63, but I am writing 36.
Right.
3 coming, before 6.
Okay, yes.
So it has been a problem that has been, regularly being observed among the children.
So the place value might be a bit confusing.
For many times for the children.
Yeah.
But with this method, as you were telling, kinesthetic, concrete, and abstract.
Yes.
So every place wherever I have to write the things is getting so much clearer.
Yes.
As you were telling, that representing the ice cream sticks and matchsticks, I know where the thing is or where I have to write that particular number.
Yeah, right. So that's really good point, that place value is sometimes confusing for children. They're not sure, okay, if it's 63, am I writing the 6 first or the 3 first? How am I writing it? Whereas here, using this clapping and snapping approach and with the materials all laid out beautifully in order, it makes it much simpler for them to understand. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts in the chat as well. I hope you enjoyed this activity. You participated very nicely in the chat. So I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think is beneficial for our children to be, what are they learning from this activity that they would not be learning from just a normal chalk and talk approach, right? That's what we like to call it, the chalk and talk, which is unfortunately what's so common in many of our classrooms. So Ruhi has shared, it's learning by doing. Absolutely, totally agree, Ruhi. And in English, you know, we have that saying, in one ear, out the other. So if we're just listening, we're often not learning as much. But if we're doing something, that's when we're learning. There's also a concept of the learning pyramid, right? So the idea is that if you at the top of the pyramid is just if you're just listening, or if you're just even just reading, right? If these sorts of passive approaches, you're maybe not learning very much. Whereas if you're actually doing something, or if you're teaching somebody else, or if you're explaining something to somebody else, that's when you'll actually learn it really more in more depth. So I'm interested to hear others' thoughts in the chat. What are the advantages of doing this sort of activity? And while I'm waiting for that, I also want to, I'm going to open a poll very soon, because in ALfA, we look at taking collective feedback, right? So supposing I have a class of children, I will not just be asking one child to answer. I'll be asking the whole class to answer in a certain way, so I can gauge, you know, how much they're understanding or not. So it's the same in ALfA. And can we open my PowerPoint once again, please? And we'll just flick through these slides, right? These slides are what we've already discussed and demonstrated. So it's these numbers being represented through kinesthetically and also through concrete objects. So this is the poll question I'm going to ask. Please do keep answering my earlier question. You know, I still want to hear your thoughts on what's the benefit of using these activities. But I'm going to open a poll question as well. Supposing we have the number 6,243, then the number 6 would be represented by A, a finger snap, B, an overhead clap, or C, a shoulder tap. So this is, it's a nice feature of YouTube, right? It's a poll. And Meritha, can you explain how would we do this in a class? Supposing we wanted to do this in a class, we don't have YouTube there. How would we take this collective feedback in a class?
So it will be a nice way to get the collective feedback from the classroom by, you know, writing the question on the blackboard with the objective type answers. As you have, you know, given this as a question answer, so the same thing can be done, and then the teacher can ask the classroom, how many of you say that A is correct, please stand up, and those who say A is not correct, please remain seated. Or it can be also another way, like, you know, you can ask how many of you say A is the correct answer, show your palm. Or if you say A is not the right answer, show the back side of your hand. So in this way, a collective feedback of the whole class can be taken. And we will deal at length about collective feedback, its importance in the coming session, that is tomorrow.
Okay, good flag, Meritha, that yeah, we have a session tomorrow. So please do join us for that as well. Lots of interesting topics there as well about how to take collective feedback. What are the steps of an ALfA classroom? What are the roles of a teacher in the ALfA classroom? So lots of good content coming up tomorrow as well. Same time, 4 to 6 p.m. IST. Okay, so I see that 9 people have voted so far. So I think we can close the poll in about 30 seconds. So if you haven't voted yet, please do vote. Don't worry if you get the wrong answer. There's no issues at all. This was an anonymous poll. It's like an election. You know, you put your vote and we don't know who voted for what. But the great thing about this is if you're using this in a class, as Meritha explained, then you get a sense of how many of your students understood this maths concept and how many did not. Because then accordingly, you can take action. You can help the students. So rather than just singling out one child and say, okay, you answer or you answer. Well, if we just ask one child to answer, we don't know what the rest of the class is thinking, whether they have understood or not. But if we ask the whole class to answer using this method, we'll be able to understand. So I think a couple more people have voted maybe. It's up to 10. I think we can close the poll. It's up to 11, great. And this will help Milit and I get feedback on how well we have done in explaining this or not. And that's great. 81% of people got it right, which was the overhead clap, right? So the overhead clap was the 1,000, and the finger snap is actually a 1, right? So if you remember, this is thousands, this is hundreds, this is tens, and this is ones. In the ALfA method, you could feel free to use any other symbol as well, but in this method, in our textbooks, this is what we have. So that's great. Most of you have it. Now, we have a good question. Okay, I'm going to go back and have a look at some of the comments that have come in, which is excellent. Sushita said, children can grasp abstract numerical concepts in a concrete and practical way. Absolutely, Sushita, totally agree. It's a really good point that when you're using concrete objects, you grasp it more easily. Reena said, children loves activities-based mode of learning and learn quickly as compared to the normal chalkboard way. Absolutely agree. So you'll see children in this approach. They in the one day, they're learning 1-digit numbers, 2-digit numbers, 3-digit numbers, which normally, would take months or even years to get up to 3-digit numbers. They're here picking it up really quickly. Now, Ruhi asked a good question. Is it necessary to take the highest number first? It's a really good question. So you saw Milita was trying to be a bit tricky there by starting with the ones. What we encourage at the start is to begin from the left side, so to start with the highest number, because that's when we are writing it, we are writing in this order, right? So we're trying to do everything in a way that the concrete matches up with the abstract as much as is possible, right? So we want the whatever we're doing with our hands to match up with the abstraction in the same way. I think yeah, we've got one more poll question, right? So please keep posting your questions and comments in the chat, but we've got one more poll question which we want to ask you, and I want to encourage you, everybody, just like we're snapping our fingers, vote quickly, right? Vote quickly on the poll, because we've got a lot of polls today, we've got a lot of interaction. So I'm going to open the next poll question. It's a slightly trickier one, so I can open my slide as well. Thanks for your patience there in bearing with us. Okay, so there must be some issue still because most people are still posting that they can't hear. So please do let us know once we do become audible. The technical team here is working on it. Okay, I think it should be audible now. Can you just please give us the indicator in the chat? Hopefully that's working now. Yeah, great. Thanks for your patience there. I know technology, it can be a blessing, but it can also be a curse. And it's funny, the sort of bugs that come. But thanks. And it's very good because we know everybody's paying attention. Nobody's asleep. You picked it up and immediately you said, okay, sound is not working. So I'm looking at the poll. And the question was, in the number 4,103, there will be 0 ice cream sticks, spoons, or matchsticks. Now, this one, we know that we did not clear the concept very well, right? Because the vote is split. So it means, in fact, the answer was the ice cream stick, right? So if we just zoom once again on this angle, please. So you can see in our number bank, you can see the ones are these ice cream sticks. The ones are matchsticks, and the 10s are ice cream sticks. So it means in the number 4,103, then we have 0 of the 10s, right? We have 4 thousands, the spoons, 100, and 3 ones, but we have no 10s, 0 10s. So in other words, 0 ice cream sticks. So that's good. The feedback worked, right? Because I know that, okay, I didn't explain this concept very well, so we need to try again. We need to explain it again or do it again through another activity. So that's the purpose of collective feedback. Great, thanks everybody. The voice is clear now, and hopefully my tech team will have it under control now. Okay, great. So let's move on. We've talked about number concepts, clapping, snapping, and ones and tens and so forth. But how does this work for number operations? So if I just pull up my PowerPoint once again, and this is where I'm going to really request you to, if you haven't yet, please go and find some materials, right? You need some materials to be able to do this together with us. That's when it will be really enjoyable. So we've got this addition problem. Tina and Toto want to go on a picnic with their friends. Tina had rupees 28, and Toto had rupees 15. So how much do they have in total? So Milita, can you try representing this problem using our ice cream sticks and matchsticks?
Okay, so just to the fact that I was really very hopeful that why we are using this subjective type questions instead of having just 28 plus 15 written, or why should we promote this idea of that the children should make the subjective type questions instead of just making them write 28 plus 15? Why shouldn't we do that?
So I think as people have shared in the comments, the hands-on approach is really beneficial, right? It means that in this case, the concept of carrying, they're going to understand this much more deeply than if they were just doing the written work.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And so I am encouraging all of you. So Milita and I, we're going to solve this problem here. I would request you, wherever you are, please get out some concrete materials and solve this problem in the same way, not just apologies, everybody. The electricity in our part of the country is not always so reliable. So now it looks like the audio is back. We are good to go. So thank you so much, everybody, for your patience. I really appreciate that. Unfortunately, the electricity is not so reliable here, so we are now on a generator backup. But so be it. These are the challenges that many teachers face in schools throughout the world: lack of electricity, difficulty with infrastructure. Lots of these challenges. But I think if the teacher is passionate, if the children are there, they're loving learning, then we can overcome these challenges. And so really appreciate your patience with us there today. So we were at this addition question, right? And I would request all of you that the question was 28 plus 15. Milith and I are going to solve it here using our concrete objects. Please get out your concrete objects as well and give it a try. Wherever you are, at home, at school, get out some concrete objects and solve it with us. Yeah, now audio is functional. Ruhi has commented that some schools don't have electricity at all. So you're spot on. Of course, that is even much a worse challenge. We have the minor challenge of electricity going off, but in some schools where there's no electricity at all, that is much, much harder. So thank you for bearing with us. And I think we are good to go now. So let's work on this addition problem together. So 28 plus 15. Militha, do you want to try first getting out 28?
Okay, for tens, we were representing it through ice cream sticks.
Great.
So the problem sum was 28 plus 15.
Perfect.
So 28,
okay.
For 28, I'll be having 2 ice cream sticks.
Okay.
Because
Great.
that's tens.
Yes.
And then I'll take 8 matchsticks.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this is 28.
Perfect.
And then I have to represent 15 for this.
Okay.
Then
Great.
this is 1.
Okay.
That's 10.
Okay.
Then 11, 12,
with us, and if you haven't yet, please do get out your concrete objects and solve this question with us together. Milith is getting it out very beautifully here. So let's cut back to this camera angle and let's please work with us on solving this problem. Yeah.
Okay, 13, 14, and 15.
Beautiful. Okay, so here we have 28, which Tina had, 28, 2 10s and 8 1s, and here we have 15. And you can see again that the written work matches up perfectly with the concrete work, right? Here we have 20 and 8, here we have 20 and 8. 10 and 5, 10 and 5. So the written work and the concrete work match up beautifully. Now, Milita, shall we start by adding the matchsticks or start by adding the ice cream sticks?
We should go with matchsticks first because we have to add the smaller ones first.
Yeah.
So let's start and let me collect it all and bring it together.
Okay, great.
So when I bring it together, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Okay,
So it's
excellent.
now 13.
So we've got 13. So what shall we do with 13 matchsticks?
Because 13 represents it as it's not ones, but it is tens.
Okay.
So I should take out tens to make it once again a number of ones.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Okay, so Milita has taken 10 matchsticks and now you're putting it back in the bank and you're taking
a ice cream stick because this ice cream stick is representing a tens.
Okay, so we've got now one new ice cream stick. We had 10 matchsticks, we exchanged them, and we've got one new ice cream stick. Perfect. So now if I'm looking at my written work over here, 8 plus 5 made 13 matchsticks. But of the 13 matchsticks, how many matchsticks do we have left?
Only 3.
Okay, we have only 3 matchsticks. And why? Because we exchanged 10 for one new ice cream stick. So I can put 1 here in the ice cream sticks column because this is this one new ice cream stick that we got. So now can you add the ice cream sticks?
Yes. So it's like 10, 20, 30, 40. So I'll write here 4.
Okay, so we've got here now 4 ice cream sticks and 3 matchsticks. So the number is
43.
43. Well done. Great job. So I'm interested to hear in the chat. I hope you were able to try this activity yourself as well. And I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts in the chat. What are the advantages of using this type of activity? What are children gaining from this, right? Milita, I think this concept of carryover, right? It's quite a difficult concept actually when you're just explaining it in the written work, right? If we just have it in the written work, then I often ask kids, what is this one? What does this one mean? And they're not able to tell me. You know, they're just doing it mechanically, but they're not actually understanding what this one means. Whereas here, they're understanding, okay, these 10 matchsticks were exchanged, and I got 1 ice cream stick in return. And that's why this 1 is written here in the column of the tens, that is the ice cream sticks. So I've got another poll question, right? I hope you were able to do this addition problem in your own home or school, wherever you were, using those concrete objects, right? We as adults, you know, okay, this is easy for us. We can just do it straight on pen and paper. But it's a bit like, you know, a bicycle. When we're learning to ride a bicycle, we need the training wheels, right? So these hands-on materials, they're like the training wheels. They help when we're learning to start, when we're learning something at the start, at the beginning. They really help to get us going. And then after a while, once we've used enough of the training wheel, then we can go straight on to the writing. But at the start, these training wheels and these concrete objects are very, very helpful. So I've got a poll question to share with you in the chat, and we're ready to post the poll. I want to get this collective feedback to see if you've been understanding what we've been doing here with the addition. I know it's a bit of a challenge because the electricity went off in between a couple of times, but I think we're all good now. So let's hear your thoughts in the poll. The question I'm asking is, when we add 56 plus 24, what happens with the matchsticks? So is it 6 plus 4 is 10 matchsticks, or is it there's one issue with the poll actually here. Can I please edit the poll because the final line of option C has been deleted. It needs to come in. So one issue with the poll here, I just noticed, apologies there, that option A and C are the same. So we need to just edit this poll. I think we can take the poll down for a moment, maybe while we edit it. The option I was asking for, option C, can I have my PowerPoint back, please? Can I have my PowerPoint back on, please? Yeah. So this is the question for the poll, just while we're trying to get it up. Apologies there. The poll was a bit of a mistake there. But this was the question. When we add 56 plus 24, what happens with the matchsticks? Is it 6 plus 4 equals 10 matchsticks? Is it 5 plus 2 equals 7 matchsticks? Or is it 6 plus 4 is 10 matchsticks, which then get exchanged for 1 ice cream stick? So we're interested to hear your thoughts on the poll just once we get this working. And meanwhile, I'm just having a look at the comments. So Moran has joined us. Moran Broza is saying, it's amazing to see how different methods are used worldwide. This is a fantastic way to learn. Wow, Moran, thank you for that comment. That's really beautiful to hear. And one thing to emphasize, I should say, is this method of the hands-on approach, you don't need these same materials, right? Ice cream sticks and matchsticks are not necessary. The idea is any hands-on approach. So you can be using sticks, stones, leaves, pebbles, absolutely anything. Go for it, right? But any hands-on approach will be helpful. Okay, it looks like we are struggling with the poll. So no worries. Maybe you can just vote by putting in the chat A, B, or C. You can see on screen here. Option A is 6 plus 4 is 10 matchsticks. Option B is 5 plus 2 equals 7 matchsticks. And option C is 6 plus 4 is 10 matchsticks, which then get exchanged for 1 ice cream stick. So maybe since there's some few issues happening with the poll, you can just vote by writing in the chat A, B, or C. Right? Looking forward to hearing your vote here. And any other comments you have your side. Looking forward to it. And thanks again for bearing with us with these technical issues. I enjoyed Ruhi's comment that some schools there's no electricity at all. Yeah, let's stick with the PowerPoint. Yeah, let's stick with the PowerPoint. Thanks. Okay, so here some votes are coming in. Okay, A, C, C, C. There we go. Lots of people voting C, which is indeed the correct answer. Well done. So we prefer the poll option because it's anonymous, right? But congratulations if you voted C. You're spot on that it is indeed 6 plus 4 matchsticks, right? So 56, there were 6 matchsticks. 24, there were 4 matchsticks. We add them together, we get 10 matchsticks, and we exchange these for 1 ice cream stick. That's beautiful. Okay, let's move on, right? We've got a lot of other interesting things to cover. So now I have a subtraction question to solve using the same hands-on approach. And again, I'd request you to get out your hands-on materials and give this a try. So Milita, can you share what the question is?
The question is 43. Okay, Tina had 43 toffees and gave 16 to Toto. How many does she have left now?
Beautiful. Okay, so let's start it. I'm going to give this a try myself. So first time you might have noticed I posed the question and Milita solved it, and now it's my turn. Now it's Milita's posing the question and I'm trying to solve. So I've got the question is 43 minus 16. Okay, and I will encourage all of you, please, wherever you are, try this out at home. Sometimes there's the warning, do not try this at home. I'm giving the opposite. I'm saying, do try this at home. So I've got 43, which means 10, 20, 30, 40, and 3. 1, 2, 3. 43. Now from 43, I need to subtract 16. Now I'm thinking hard here. 43 minus 16. Milita, should I start with the matchsticks or with the ice cream sticks?
Yes, you can start with matchsticks, but I have a question out here.
Okay.
In addition,
yes,
you gave me a number, 2 numbers, and I represented both the numbers with ice cream sticks and matchsticks.
Yes.
But in subtraction, you did not. You have just represented the 1 number only.
Yes.
So are you wrong or am I wrong?
Okay, it's a good point. So you might remember that, as Milita said, in addition, we had represented both of these numbers, whereas here in subtraction, I'm only getting out this number. Now, the reason for that is these 16 that I'm subtracting, I'm not subtracting it separately. I need to subtract it from this number.
Okay.
So I'm taking away 16 from 43. So it's a really good point, and we see this as a common issue in some schools where they're representing both numbers, but in subtraction, we only get out this top number, 43, and then we are subtracting away from it. Okay, so I've got my 43, now I need to subtract 16. Now, as you suggested, I'm going to start with the matchsticks, but in the matchsticks, I only have 3. Now I need to subtract 6 So this is going to be a challenge for me. I can't take away 6 from 3. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to borrow, right? I'm going to exchange. I've got my 110. I'm going to put this back in the bank, and I'm going to exchange it for my 10 matchsticks. So I've got 2, and 2 is 4, 6, 8, and 10. I've got my 10 extra matchsticks are coming in here. Now I've got 10, 11, 12, 13. I've got 13 matchsticks. And again, just to emphasize how this is aligning with the written work, in the written work, I'm crossing out the 4 because there were 4 ice cream sticks, but now I have only 3 ice cream sticks left, right? There's just 3 left. And here I had 3 matchsticks, but I'm writing 1 here because now I have 13, right? I got 1 ice cream stick I exchanged in the bank. I got 10 more matchsticks. So now I have a total of 13. Now I can subtract this easily. Okay, so here we go. 13 minus 6. So I'm taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got my 6 matchsticks. I'm taking them away, subtracting them, and I am going to check what I've got here. And again, please do try this out yourselves at home. It's going to be more interesting for you to do this rather than just watching us do it. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 matchsticks left here. So I can write 7 here. And I had 3 10s, and I need to subtract 1 10. So I'm taking 1 away, and here I have now 2 10s left. So my total number is 27. 27. Beautiful. So thank you, everybody, and I hope you were able to try this out yourselves at home. We've got another poll question for you coming up. So just to see, the collective feedback, we want to see if you were able to grasp what we're doing. I know it's a bit confusing with the camera cutting from this way to that way, but I hope you were able to get this concept that we had this when we were having the extra ice cream stick, we need to exchange it in the bank for another 10 matchsticks. So my poll question, I will just pull up in my slideshow as well, just while we are opening the poll. This you can see, this was what was happening, right? So 1 ice cream stick was being exchanged for 10 matchsticks, and then after that, we were taking away the 6 matchsticks and the 1 ice cream stick, and we were left with 20 and 7, 27. Okay, so here's the question for you. Supposing we want to subtract 28 from 51, what would be the first step? Is it 8 matchsticks minus 1 matchstick? Is it exchanging 1 ice cream stick for 10 matchsticks? Or is it 5 ice cream sticks minus 2 matchsticks? Sorry, 5 ice cream sticks minus 2 ice cream sticks. So we are just opening the poll here. I think the poll will be coming very soon. I want to hear in the poll what your response is here. Milita, would you mind not answering this question, but just telling in general what concept are they able to learn through this hands-on activity?
So while using these hands-on activities, they are understanding the concept of carryover and borrowing. So it helps because when you started with the problem, so it was like 3 was above and 6, you had 3 matchsticks only, and you have to take out 6 from that. So it was so much clearer because they were only 3.
Yes.
So ultimately you have to so as to subtract, you have to borrow from somewhere or the others. So you had to go to your neighbor to borrow, and your neighbor gave you 10s, converted it from the bank, and then you got 10 ones. And then you could easily take out 6 from the 13 that you had.
Okay, great. So thanks, Milita, for that explanation. And we have the poll. It's not quite worked, but it's okay. So we have, if we subtract 28 from 51, the first step is 8 matchsticks minus 1 matchstick equals 7, or exchanging 1 ice cream stick for 10 matchsticks. You can just vote for the second option there. I know it's split over 2 lines. Again, some technical difficulties there. Or the third option, the final option, 5 ice cream sticks minus 2 ice cream sticks would be 3. So we want to hear your this collective feedback to see if you've understood this process of subtraction, right? So yeah, please do vote if you haven't voted yet. If we're subtracting 28 from 51, like I was just doing a subtraction, if we're subtracting 28 from 51, what would be the first step? Are we subtracting 8 matchsticks minus 1 matchstick? Are we exchanging 1 ice cream stick? Or are we doing 5 ice cream sticks minus 2 ice cream sticks? Okay, great. And I think we have up to 9 votes, so I think we can close the poll. And let's see the results. See the results of the election. I'm looking forward to it. We love waiting eagerly to see who won the election, who will be the next president or the prime minister. And in the same way, 11 people have voted here. So we'll see. Yeah, great. Excellent. I think the vast majority got it. And I apologize, Naresh. You're right. It was a confusing poll. It was not able to accept the whole line in the one option. But I think most people got it, that we're exchanging 1 ice cream stick for 10 matchsticks. Exactly. That's great. Thank you, everybody. So moving on, if I just pull my PowerPoint up, I'm hoping that you're at least getting the gist of it, despite the technical difficulties, that this process of addition and subtraction, it's a very hands-on approach, right? Using these ice cream sticks and matchsticks. Now, multiplication, you might be wondering, how do we do that? Well, now it's my turn to pose a question for Militha, and all of your turn to try to solve this as well. So they met another friend, Tara, who had rupees 27, who also had rupees 27. So how many rupees do they have in total now? So you might remember Tina and Toto already had 27, and now they're having another friend who comes with 27 as well. So it's 27 into 2, 27 times 2.
Okay. So let me write out as I solve the problem. So you gave me the problem, that is 27 multiplied by 2.
Yes.
Because they both had 27.
Yes.
And one of their friend also came who had 27.
Yes.
So in this learning process,
yes,
we want to emphasize upon that multiplication simply is repeated addition.
Okay, right.
And it's simple fact that the number that you have to add is given above. How many times you have to add is given below.
Okay, that's really good.
That's how we are, want to emphasize upon the whole learning process of the children. So, because this is the number that I have to represent, so I'm representing 27 because tens. So I have to come out with 2 tens. That will be representing 20, and then 7. That is 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27.
Excellent. Very nice.
So now, as we had discussed, that this is the number, and I have to represent it this many times. So I have to put once more, because it's 2 times.
Yes.
So I have to represent once more, that is 10, 20, then again 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and again 27.
Okay,
so
great.
I have represented this whole sum out here.
Beautiful. So just to summarize, you're saying multiplication is repeated addition. So we have this number 27, and we're going to add it together twice. So 27 once and twice. Now we're going to add it. Okay, so should we start by adding from the matchsticks or the ice cream sticks?
Here we have, as we did it in addition, we have to start from the ones.
Okay.
So let's start adding. So if we take all this together, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 all together.
Yes.
So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14.
Okay, 14.
So I have 14 out here, but it being in the block of ones, I have to remove tens from 14.
Okay.
So I'm removing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and
okay, great. 9 and
10.
10. Lovely.
So I have to remove 10 from here, and from this I'll get replacing it with tens, that is 110.
Beautiful. So just like we were doing in addition, right? When we got more than 10 ones, we are exchanging 10 ones for the 110, and we are carrying this over into this column. Beautiful.
So as I carried it over, I'm carrying it over out here also. So now it's 2 times 2. So 1, that's 10, 20, and 40. So it's like 5. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50.
Okay.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm writing it out here as 54.
Okay, great. Nice, Milita. And again, we're just seeing how this is aligning the written work and the hands-on material. So we have these 5 10s, right, which is this 5, and the 4 1s, which is this 4. Beautiful. So just to check, we have one more poll, right? One more poll to put you through. And I think this one will work fine because it's a very short one. So I think it should fit in fine. But the question is, what is multiplication, right? You saw this method. So what is multiplication? Is it repeated addition? Is it repeated subtraction? Is it repeated division? So I'm just going to open this poll and looking forward to hearing your thing. And yes, as we're opening the poll, I'm looking in the chat. So, Moran was saying, the electricity is just a momentary disconnection. Technology, look how amazing what you are doing is already. Using technology as a tool to reach worldwide, I can be patient. Wow, thank you, Moran. That's really beautifully written. Thank you so much for your patience. Technology is incredible. It's remarkable that we are joining together today from all around the world, from different parts of Africa, from Kashmir, from Manipur, many parts of India. It is really, truly incredible and remarkable. Okay, so here's the poll, and it should be repeated addition. So the first option is repeated addition, not division. The first option should be repeated addition. Consider the first option to be repeated addition, and the second option is repeated subtraction. Third option is repeated division. Okay, great. So as we're voting, looking forward to seeing the results of the election, which we will close very soon. So that's great. I think that's fine. We can close the poll and we'll see the results. Beautiful. So again, you're seeing all of these different approaches, addition, subtraction, multiplication. They're all made very easy using the ice cream sticks and matchsticks. We have the hands-on, the written work is there as well. It's also important. But if we start with the hands-on materials, then the written work makes a lot more sense afterwards. And here, the poll, nobody was tricked this time. Everybody got the right answer. Well done. It is indeed repeated addition. And thanks, Naresh, for pointing it out. We are having a few glitches at this end. But you interpret correctly, should be repeated addition. Exactly right. So here in this case, it was 27 times 2, so 27 being added twice. But it could be 27 times 5, then it would be added together 5 times, and so on. Okay, it's fine. We can go for the final operation, which is division, the hardest of them all. So let's try this out using a hands-on approach again. And we will not do another poll on this one. The polls are just proving too difficult. So let's go for division. If I pull up my PowerPoint again, once again, I'd like to request you to get out your hands-on materials, right? Whatever hands-on materials you're using. And we have a rather tricky question here. This time, I think it's Milita's turn to ask me to solve.
Yes. So the question is, they meet another friend, Tuba. The 4 friends buy 54 toffees and distribute them equally. So how many toffees will every friend get?
Okay, so that's a hard one. And interestingly, here I have on screen 54, right? So 5 10s and 4 1s. And I'm now going to need to try to figure out how to divide this into 4 parts. So 54, I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 54. I need to divide this into 4 parts. Now, this is interesting, Milita, because normally we've been starting with the matchsticks first. But here, I think I'm going to have to start with the ice cream sticks first. Okay?
Right, true.
Okay, here we go. So I'm going to divide this among the 4 friends. So there's one friend gets 10. The next one gets 10. Next one gets 10. And the next one gets 10. but now I have 110 left over. And I'm going to ask you to respond in the chat for this, okay, if you can. So what should I do with this 10 that's left over? You know, I think you've already seen enough to figure it out because you've seen addition, subtraction, multiplication. I've got 50. I had these 5 ice cream sticks. I've given 1 each to each of my friends, but I have 1 ice cream stick left over. So what am I going to do? How am I going to distribute this ice cream stick amongst my friends? And just while I'm waiting for your response in the chat there, I'm looking forward to hearing your answer because I'm pretty sure you're going to get this. So let me know, what should I do? I've got this 1 ice cream stick left. Should I get my scissors out? Do I need to cut it up? Imagine, Milita, supposing we have a 10 rupee note and we need to distribute it among four kids. Are we going to use our scissors to cut it up? Or what are we going to do? Okay, and Moran is the quickest on the mark. Ruhi is just behind. Exchange for the 10 matchsticks. Exactly right, Ruhi and Moran. So I'm going to take this ice cream stick, I'm going to put it back in the bank, and I'm going to take 10 matchsticks in exchange. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, there we go. 10 matchsticks and 4 matchsticks. So now I have a total of 14. Now, I should be doing this in written as well at the same time, so you can get a sense of this. Can we please move the keyboard from the screen? Yeah. Okay, so here we go. I've got 54. Okay. Okay, perfect. So I've got 54, and I'm dividing by 4. So I started with the ice cream sticks, and I divided these. Every person got 1 ice cream stick each, right? So I'm writing here 4. We can go back to the close camera angle, please. Yeah, perfect. So everybody got 1 ice cream stick, right? Everybody got 1 ice cream stick, and I used up 4 ice cream sticks. This means I had 1 ice cream stick left, and that 1 ice cream stick I put in the bank, I exchanged for matchsticks. So that became 10 matchsticks here, and I already had 4 matchsticks, so I carry that down. And now I have a total of 14 matchsticks, right? 10 new matchsticks and 4 old matchsticks, a total of 14 matchsticks. Now I'm going to divide these among my friends. So here we go. 1 for you, 1 for you, 1 for you, and 1 for you. Let me see if I can remember my friends' names. 1 for Tina, another for Toto, another for Tuba, and what was it? Tommy. I forget the name. Okay. 3, 3, 3, 3. There we go. Everybody got 3, but I have 2 matchsticks left over. Now, if I'm doing this in my written work, everybody got 3 matchsticks, right? So I write that here, and I distributed 12 matchsticks, which means I have 2 left over. 2 matchsticks are remaining. So everybody got 10, 11, 12, 13. You can see that everybody got 13. Each of my 4 friends received 1 10 and 3 1s, 13. So Milita, what do we call, what do we do with this? We've got 2 matchsticks left. What can we call this? What will we do with it?
So this is simply the remainder. So that remains with you, and you cannot divide it among your friends.
Okay, so the amount that's left over, which cannot be divided, that is the remainder. Beautiful. So if we just come back to the slideshow, we can see, yeah, beautifully. So you can see how this works in the animation as well, the description. Yeah, so we had 54, right? This is the written work that you can see on the right side. We had 54, 5 10s and 4 1s. We distributed the 10s. Everybody got 1. There was 1 10 left over. We converted that to matchsticks. We now have 14 matchsticks. We subtracted 12 because we distributed 12. And we have 2 matchsticks left over. That's the remainder. Beautiful work. So I hope you guys were able to try this out at home. It looks like we have maybe another audio issue. Can I just confirm that others are able to hear this okay? I hope the audio is working. Okay, maybe there's some issue at Ruhi's end. Okay, no worries. Please do check the audio at your end as well. Okay, great. So we're not going to do this poll because the polls have been too challenging, but thanks for your patience there. And I hope that was able to give you a snapshot of how this hands-on approach to maths works, what we're doing here with the ice cream sticks and matchsticks, and to see that even these concepts of carryover or borrowing or even division, long division, it can become quite simple using this hands-on approach. So now I'd like to show you briefly the numeracy book, right? Yesterday we went through the English book, the literacy book. Now I'd like to show you briefly the numeracy book. So you can see, because the numeracy book has many of these same activities that we've just been doing with you, and it also has many more activities. So at the end of today, we'll be sharing a quiz link. Please do give that a try, and you'll gain access, you'll get a certificate, and you'll also gain access to this book. So I'll request that we zoom in slightly on the book. Okay, we're still having some audio issues here. It looks like several people can't hear. Uma Mani, welcome, by the way, Uma Mani and Ruhi. But it looks like the audio is coming fine from our end. Okay, so I think the audio is coming fine from our end. So please do check at your end, because my team is assuring me that the audio is working from our end. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the numeracy book. Can others confirm in the chat that I'm audible? Yeah. Can others please just confirm that you are able to hear me? Because it's always a bit disconcerting when there's these technical issues. Okay, great. Okay, so let's have a look through the numeracy book, just a quick look. So if we just scroll down a little, the numeracy book, it's designed for teachers, right? So it's designed for students to be able to use, but we are not necessarily distributing this to all the students. The teacher can have a copy, and it's just a guide to help them do the activities with the students. Yeah, we can keep scrolling through this. Great. So the first couple of pages are just sharing instructions. They are like an overview. Then this page you've already seen, right? We encourage all students to have enough materials. Now, it need not be ice cream sticks and matchsticks. It could be leaves, it could be sticks, it could be paper balls, could be absolutely anything. Okay, so we've got a table of contents which is showing you, all of the different modules coming up in the book, and we can flick through this. Yeah, we can flick through this. Great. Okay, this we'll cover in a lot more detail tomorrow. This is the steps of an ALfA classroom. The teacher demo, the child demo, and the paired learning. All of this we'll be talking in much more detail tomorrow. So we can flick through this for now and go on to the main book. Okay, so you'll see at the start, children are learning how to write. So they're learning the written formation of these digits. If we just go to the next page as well, they are learning this in a very tangible approach. So like we were doing at the start of today, starting with snapping and then the concrete objects. In this book, we've got leaves rather than matchsticks, just to remind you that it can be anything. And then we've got these number cards, which the kids play different games with. Let's flick down and have a look at some of these games that we can play. Yeah, so this is a nice game. So we introduced the concept of zero by playing the game of guessing which hand has the material. Can we switch back to the video for a moment? And Milita and I will just play this quick game with you. Okay, so Milita, let's see. Can you guess which hand has nothing?
This hand has nothing.
No, wrong. It has something. I should have used. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, great. So which hand has nothing, do you think?
No, this hand has nothing.
Yes, this hand has nothing. And you can kind of see, if you see my hand just this much, you'll see it kind of makes a bit of an oval shape, right? So that's like the zero. It makes an oval shape. It's empty like a zero. Okay, Milita, your turn. You hide a matchstick and let me guess where it is.
Okay, so can you tell me in which hand I have my matchstick?
Is this hand? Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nothing. Okay, it's nothing. So the concept of the empty hand, right, as the zero. Beautiful. So let's go back to the numeracy book and keep flicking through. I just want to show you a couple of different activities throughout. Yeah, we can keep going. Just to show you that it's really building from simple to complex. So we're starting with tally lines and these things. We've got the lesser than and greater than concept, equals. And we can keep flicking through and have a look at the addition, I think. Yeah, let's keep going through. you'll see also at the bottom and at the side of most pages, there's some descriptions. These are prompts for the teacher. So yeah, let's look at this page for a moment, please. Yeah, if we just scroll down slightly on this page, you'll see this was the activity that we started with today, of having clapping and snapping, shoulder tapping, and clap up to represent 4-digit numbers. Beautiful. So let's keep going. And we have Roman numerals and so forth. And then here we get into the main thing of addition, subtraction, and so forth. So you'll see that we encourage children to make questions on sheets of paper. So this is quite important. We don't give them a whole lot of questions in the book, right? We just encourage them. You can see in the top right, there's the representation of a sheet of paper. So the children are making questions on a sheet of paper and they're giving to each other. So Milith and I also, supposing we were 2 kids in the class, we would be I'll be making a few questions on chits, and I'd be giving them to Militha. Militha would be making them on chits and giving them to me. And then we could use this for homework as well, or we can solve it in the school. You'll see here, we've just flipped very quickly through all of that, but that's what we were doing today, right, was all this addition, subtraction. If you just see this, just back up one page, please. Back up one page, sorry. Yeah. So if you just scroll down a little here, you can see that all of the addition, subtraction, division, so forth, we are representing it here in pictures as well, right? So they can see the process. So for example, here we had 735, which would mean, in my case, I would have 7 of these sticks, right? The sticks, there are hundreds, 7 sticks, they are distributing 3, 3, and they've got 1 stick left. Then they're exchanging that stick for the big leaf and the, back to the book, please, yeah. They're exchanging that stick for the big leaf, and for 10 big leaves, right? And then they're distributing the big leaves, they're exchanging 1 big leaf for the small leaf, and so on. So the activity is represented not just in written form, but it's represented as pictorially. So just flicking through a bit more, you can see there's lots of fun games. There's shopping. Maybe we can do a little bit of the shopping game, Militha. I think the shopping game is a lot of fun. So if we just switch back to our video, supposing I've got my shop here, right? I've got a couple of books for sale. I've got a lovely flower for sale, and here I am in my shop, and Militha is coming. I've got some fruits as well. Oh, beautiful! I've got fruits in my shop as well. So now Militha is coming to my shop, right? This is how we will be doing it in the school. Is one child would set up the shop, and the other child will come to the shop and will buy the items. So Militha has got her money here. Okay, great.
So I have lots of money with me.
Okay, nice.
And
wow, you are very rich, Militha. Very rich. Hold it up to the camera.
So I have this money with me.
Nice. Okay. So would you like to come to my shop? Would you like to buy something?
Definitely.
Okay. Please come to my shop.
So can you give me this orange?
Okay.
That flower?
Okay. So this orange is 200 rupees.
Okay, this orange is 200 rupees.
Can you give me?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
So this is 100.
Okay.
And 200.
Okay, very nice. Thank you. Here's your orange.
Thank you. And can you also give me this flower?
Okay, sure. This flower is 20 rupees.
20 rupees. Yeah. So I have this for you.
Okay, great.
Thank you. And can you give me that red book also?
All right. This book is 80 rupees.
80 rupees.
So for 80, you can give me, I'll give you some change if you like.
Okay. So can you give me some change?
Okay. Sure. There you go. You're giving me 100. So I will give you 20. There you are.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Well, that was a very profitable day at the shop. I earned 300 rupees. Very nice. So you can see this is the sort of activity that the kids play in pairs. They one child sets up the shop, and they often mark on the device. They put a little sticky note to say, okay, this is 50 rupees, or supposing it's in the West, this would be $5, $10, whatever. And the other child comes to the shop, is the customer, and uses either, we can have these toy notes, or the children can just make pretend notes on pieces of paper. They can just make, cut this up and make notes from it, and then practice buying and selling, because this is, they're enforcing, reinforcing the addition, the subtraction. When I'm giving change for, Milita was buying the book for 80, she's giving me 100, it means I'm giving change of 20. So 100 minus 80 is 20. If Milita is buying, supposing Milita was buying 5 of the apples, then it would mean that she's doing multiplication. She's multiplying 50 rupees by 5 to figure out what amount she needs to give. So all of these maths concepts, they apply in our daily life, and shopping is one of the very common ways to do that. And it's a game that the kids really enjoy playing. So we do encourage you, if you do the quiz at the end of today, you'll get access to this book. There's lots of fun activities in this. Even without the book, you can go off and try this activity out. I'm sure your kids will really enjoy this. You'll see also in the book that we have a lot of word problems, right? So we're not just giving the abstract form of the problem, we're giving word problems. In fact, this one is a whole number story. So if we just scroll up slightly, scroll up a little on this page, it says, Mala takes 200 rupees and goes to the market. Now Mala buys some brinjal at 50 rupees per kilogram. She buys 2 kilos of brinjal at 50 rupees per kilogram. How much money does she have left? So Milita, can you work that out for me?
Okay.
You went to the market with 200 rupees.
Okay.
And then you bought 2 kilos of brinjal for 50 rupees. So how much money do you have left now?
So I went to the market for 200 rupees.
Okay, yes.
And I brought
2 kilos of brinjal,
2 kilos of
for
brinjal
50 rupees each.
For 50 rupees each.
Yes.
So 2 kilos means 1 kilo 50. Then I would be having, I have to give 100 rupees.
Okay, great.
To the shopkeeper.
Excellent, thank you.
So I gave 100 rupees to the shopkeeper, got 2 kilos of brinjal.
Yes, and how much do you have left?
I have 100 rupees left.
Yeah, great. And we won't go on to read the whole story, but you can see that then she buys eggs, she does different things, and in the end she gets home and she distributes the money to her children. So there is division in that as well. So a lot of different maths concepts are being covered just in this one little story. The children are really enjoying it, and they're revising all of their different maths concepts. You've got distance there, you've got time, you've got lots of different things.
I want to ask you one question.
Yes.
That I could see in your book.
Yes.
That this book is has different colors in different pages.
Yes.
So why is it so that it has so many different colors?
Thanks, Milita. That's a great question. And I just want to take the chance to remind you, please do post your questions in the chat. We're just going through this book very quickly, but whatever questions or comments you have about the book, please do share them in the chat. We'd love to address those questions as well. So I'm glad you raised that, Milita. One reason we like to have colorful books is because they're attractive for kids. But if we just go back to the book briefly, you'll see that there's a unit number, right? So you can see there, it's Unit 4, Lesson 28. So the whole book is themed, the different units cover different concepts. So I think the first unit, Unit 1, is mainly number concepts. So it's looking at, place value, and it's the clapping and snapping game and so forth. The second unit was looking at addition and subtraction. Third unit is looking at multiplication and division. And now the fourth unit is looking at lots of different maths concepts like patterns and shapes and so forth. So the book is structured quite logically, I think, and it helps us go from simple to complex. And so here we have patterns, and we have different activities to do with shapes and lots of things there. Great. So we have weighing as well. Again, all of these things, we're doing in a very hands-on approach. So for weight, for example, supposing let's do this one as well. This is a fun activity. So for weighing, we would start by having children estimate the weight. So let me give Milita 2 books. And Milita, can you estimate which book is heavier?
Okay, let me try it out. Let me see which book is heavier. I think this book is little heavier than this.
Okay, I think you're probably right. It looks like a fatter book. Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, now can you tell me which is heavier? Is it the the bundle of ice cream sticks, or is it the peach?
Okay, let me try. Oh, this is not the original peach you gave me. So I think this is much more heavier than this peach.
Okay, nice, nice. Now, do you want to ask me a question?
Yeah, definitely. So I give you this bundle of notes.
Wow, nice.
So,
thank you.
Can you just tell me which is more heavier than?
Definitely the bundle of notes is heavier than the cotton bud. Okay, nice. So you'll see if we just go back to the book, these are the sorts of activities that the kids are doing. They're not learning about weight as an abstract concept. They're actually making a taraju, making a scale, and we describe how to do that. It's very easy. They can make it with their household objects like a hanger and 2 paper cups. So they're first estimating the weight, and then they're actually weighing it in their scale and checking their estimate. So if we keep scrolling through the book, you'll see there's a lot of different concepts there of weight and so forth. We can keep scrolling. So volume again, I'm not going to do here because I'm going to make a mess. But supposing I have my, my water bottle, I'll ask the kids to bring their water bottle from home, and I'll say, okay, let's get a bucket, and now we'll measure. We'll see how many times we can pour the bottle into the bucket before the bucket fills. Now, supposing I've got a 1 liter bottle and I need to fill it into the bucket 15 times, then how many liters bucket would it be, Milita?
So your bottle is of 1 liter and you're filling it 15 times.
Yeah.
So the bucket is of 15 liters.
Yeah, nice. And similarly, we can play with cups and lots of different, any water container we can play with and figure out, learn about volume from this. So I'm just showing you this to encourage you that it's not just maths is not just about addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. It's also about all of these other concepts: weight, volume, patterns, and all of this can also be done in a very hands-on and enjoyable way. Oh, let me just point this out. You see this little blackboard there. This is an encouragement. You see it's also written there, collective feedback. So we are asking multiple choice questions to the whole class, have the children raise their hands to see how many gave the correct answer. So this is what we were trying in the polls earlier today. We are trying this type of collective feedback. So we would ask this question, we could write it on the board, we could give these 4 options and say, okay, how many students say option A? How many students say option B? How many say C? How many say D? And through this, we'll get a sense of whether our class has understood this concept or not. Great. I think we can move through. So great. So that was just a very we've got length, lots of fun activities here, and maybe we can flick down, keep flicking down to keep going through. We've got clocks, we've got calendars, got all sorts of things. Oh, let's do the calendar one, Milita. The calendar one is a lot of fun. Okay. So if we just go back to the video, back to the big video. Yeah, nice. So the calendar concept, right, of which month has 30 days and which month has 31. Here, I'm going to hold my fists out to form a calendar, right? Okay. And you can you count the months on my knuckles?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, it's January,
yes,
February, March,
great,
April, May, June, July,
great,
August, September, October, November, and December.
Okay, excellent. Now, the funny thing is, with these knuckles, all of the months which fall on the knuckle, they are 31 days. And the months which fall between the knuckles, they are not 31 days. They are fewer. So this is an interesting fact about the calendar. So can you tell me then, Milita, how many days are there in July?
July. So let me see.
Okay.
January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So July will be having 31.
Very good. Excellent. Well done. So you can see these fun activities that the kids can do with each other. It's much more interesting than just listening to the teacher or just writing in the copy. They're actually using their hands and they're figuring it out themselves. It's key also that they're working in pairs, right? Just to re-emphasize, if we just see at the top, just at the very top of the lesson, there's this reminder on every page, children work in pairs, taking turns, creating questions for each other to solve. So this is really the ALfA process, just in one sentence. Children working in pairs, taking turns, creating questions for each other. So creating questions in that you saw in the addition and subtraction pages, we're not giving 50 questions, we are just giving 1 or 2 questions, and we are asking the students to make more questions for each other. Okay, that's wonderful. I think we've seen enough of the book, and you will be able to access the book very shortly. Once you complete the quiz, you can try it out yourself. Yeah, let me just show you the back cover. It's a good thought. So the back cover, we have more resources available from QR codes. You can scan the QR to access videos, access different training, and so forth. And if we just go up slightly, you'll see what Milita was asking about. Just down a little, please. Thank you. You'll see this are the 5 units of the book. So the first unit is about number sense and writing, comparison. Next unit is addition and subtraction. And third is about multiplication, division, and so forth. And if you just notice the final column there, in India, for those of you who are in India, you will probably know about NIPUN, right? NIPUN is the National Initiative for Proficiency in Reading with Understanding and Numeracy. It's a very long acronym, but this is the government program which is aiming for all children up to grade 3 to be able to read, write, and do basic arithmetic. So here we are showing, we have mapped this book onto the NIPUN goals. In fact, this book was designed based on the NIPUN goals and also the goals of NAS, the National Achievement Survey. So all of the competencies that are required up to grade 5 according to the NAS and up to grade 3 according to NIPUN are covered in this book. And each module, if we just go up a couple of modules, if we just scroll up a few pages, a couple more pages, please. Then you'll see here, you'll see here at the top right, it says this is this module is at the level of grade 4 and 5. Okay. So the younger children can also try. There's no harm trying, but it's mapped onto a grade 4 and 5 level. And this is NAS M508. That's the code. If you look up online, NAS M508, you'll see it's about decimals, right? So we've mapped all of these NAS modules, NAS goals, and NIPUN goals onto these different lessons. That's great. So I think I've shown you enough about the book. I hope you can get access to this book if you do the quiz, which we'll be releasing very shortly. But I want to just open it up. Any questions you have, please? Any questions about this whole program, about the numeracy book? Anything you liked about the structure? Any suggestions you have? Any questions you have? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And we have one question here, from Ruhi, which I'm going to address to Milita. Ruhi is saying, we want to join offline program. Is it possible for us? So understandably, the online, we've had the electricity problems, we've had lots of difficulties. But Milita, any thoughts? Can we join on offline?
Yeah, definitely. See, we have been collaborating with government at different levels. So if the government at your state or your district is interested, and if you are there in India, we'll definitely want to collaborate with you and do an offline session with you. Or we have these kind of sessions that we are doing offline in some conferences also that we are hosting, and we would love to have you in that conferences that we are hosting. And we always do a session where there is a session for the offline training, so you can participate in that and get a pulse of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So just since you asked the question, we actually have a conference coming up, I think in February, called the Leadership Circle 2. We had one in November, and now we're having one coming up in February. I think it's February 19 and 20.
Yes.
So we will. I'm happy to share I'll share the link later on in the comments. But we would love to have you. That's happening in Lucknow in person. And I think Ruhi, if you are I think you're from Kashmir, if I recall correctly. Definitely, we are very interested in working in Kashmir. We've already entered discussions with the government. So I'm hoping that we'll be joining you very soon for an offline session as well. Okay, there are some network issues, Ruhi is saying. Apologies for that. I think it's coming fine from our side though. So I'm looking forward to hearing any further questions, especially about the structure of the numeracy book, which you were just seeing as we were flipping through and doing some of the activities from. Any further questions about the numeracy book?
So for numeracy book, are we giving to as in the case of literacy, we are
Yes.
giving one book in between the two children.
Yes.
So are we giving each children or the children the books, or two children will have one book, or how is it?
Okay, that's a good question, Milta. So now what we are trying with the numeracy book is we're just giving one copy to the teacher, right? Because the book itself is not actually that important. The main thing is the concepts, the activities that it's suggesting. So we want all of the kids to have the hands-on materials, right? This they need to have themselves, either ice cream sticks, matchsticks, or leaves, pebbles, whatever. So there should be enough materials that each pair of children can work with the materials. But the book is it's just a teacher handbook. It's a guide, so the teacher can have one copy, and it has so many great suggestions of fun activities to do in the class. So all the students don't need to have the book, just the teacher can have the book. Yeah.
Okay, and one more thing I would love to answer, have your answer
Yes.
on this, that as you showed that you have your books graded up to grade 5.
Yes.
So supposingly I am a student in grade 2.
Yes.
So do I need to go up to grade 5, or I can just complete the modules up to grade 2?
Yes, that's a great
Or
question.
as a teacher also,
Yes.
should I complete the whole book, or
Yes.
do up to grade 2 and leave the rest of the book?
Yes. Yes. Great question, Milta. And once again, looking forward to hearing your questions as well in the chat. Milta, I think it's up to the teacher and the students, right? You can only, if you want, you can just do up to your own grade, grade 2, say. I think in this book, if I recall correctly, I think there are about 48 modules, something like that. And of those 48, I think only about 15, 20 are up to the grade 2 level. And then there's more for grade 3, 4, and 5. So if you want to, you can just do only those 20 modules to get you up to the grade 2 level, which includes things like two-digit addition and subtraction. And it doesn't have so many of those weight and measurement and all of those other things. But what we find, my experience visiting schools here in UP and Himachal Pradesh and so on, is that often the kids are so enthusiastic, they want to do those other things as well. Even though it's beyond their grade level, they are really keen and they want to try doing those things as well. So I would say if you're a teacher, first cover your own curriculum, that's fine. Cover what the competencies are required. But then if the children want to go forward, let's not stop them. Let's not restrict them. Let's let them go forward and try out those other competencies as well, the grade 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so looking forward to any further questions from the chat. And I want to also next queue up a video to show you, right? Before, if we don't have any further questions, then we're going to go to a quick video to show you what this actually looks like in the classroom. You saw Milit and I having fun here with our little calendar activity and our shopping and our zero and all of the addition and subtraction. But what does this actually look like inside the classroom? You may be wondering. So very soon we'll be going to a video to show you. These are mainly footage from Lucknow, school students here. They're using the ALfA process in their classrooms. In fact, most of this footage is from CMS, which is the world's largest school, believe it or not. So most of this footage is from there. You'll see the kids are having a great time. They're doing these activities. They're learning really swiftly through this. So I think, okay, looks like we don't have any more questions coming in at the moment. So we can go to the video, and then it's just a short video, 5 minutes, and then I'll be ready for any final questions or comments before we share the quiz link at the end of today's session. Any final questions, comments, especially about the video. So please do watch this carefully, and I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Okay, before we go to the video, though, we do have a question. That's good. So Naresh said, kindly share the easy methodology of teaching greater and lesser than symbol. Okay, that's a good one. So let's just flick back to the book. If we can just go back to the book briefly. I think there was a fun activity to do with that. So I'd love to share that one with you. Okay, so I'm going to set up my greater than and less than as well over here. Okay, so if we go back to the book too. Okay, great. And I think this would be on around page 10, or maybe a bit lower than page 10. Thanks, Naresh. Okay, and Ruhi, you wanted to participate in offline. Milita answered that, but maybe the network issue is there. But yes, definitely. So there is a conference coming up in Lucknow in in February next year. So please do join us for that, or else I think if you are from Kashmir, we are already in discussions with the government there. So we'd love to join you for an offline session as well. Okay, we can go down one or two more pages and you'll see the greater than and less than activity. I'm glad Naresh asked about this. Couple more pages. Yeah, perfect. And now we just zoom in here. Zoom in on lesson 6, please. Lesson 6.
Lesson.
One page down and zoom in a bit. Yeah. Okay, so we have here this lesser than and greater than activity. Just scroll up slightly, please. Which we introduce using the duck, the hungry duck. So the hungry duck always faces towards more. So this is how we remind children of this symbol. So if you can imagine a duck with its beak open, can we just zoom in a bit here, please, Nishant, on the right side of the screen? Just zoom in a bit on the right. So you'll see the duck, when it has its beak open, it looks a bit like a greater than sign or a less than sign, right? It looks a bit like that. Yeah, perfect. We just go up a little bit. Yeah, nice. So you can see the hungry duck is facing towards wherever there is more. So in this case, Milita, if we also see on the table, yeah, okay, that's great. So you can see there that the duck is facing in the direction of the bigger number, right? That's where its beak is open. And in the same way, the sign is also, the greater than sign is facing in that direction. If we scroll to the right, you'll see here, the bigger number is on the right side. So the duck is facing in that direction. And that is the sign is facing in that direction as well. So this is how we introduce this. And we play a game. If we just go back to the video, if we just go back to the front-on video, please. So we'll play a game. So Milita and I will take this. I've got 4. Okay, let me use ice cream sticks because they'll be more visible for you. So I've got 3 ice cream sticks in this hand, right? 3 ice cream sticks in this hand and 2 ice cream sticks on this side. So Milita, can you figure out which one of these is greater and make the sign accordingly?
Okay, let me try. As you said, towards the bigger, the duck mouth is open.
Okay.
So I'll have this like this.
Yeah, great. If we just cut to the close angle, please. So you'll see here what Milita has done. We have 3 on this side and 2 on this side. And the duck is facing in this direction. You know, it has its mouth open in this direction to eat the bigger amount. Okay, and now let me try a different number. Now I've got 3 on this side and 5 on this side. Now which way will the duck face?
Okay, so 5 is greater. So let the duck have its mouth open towards 5 because that's the greater number.
Lovely, fantastic, great. So thanks, Naresh. That was a great question. I'm glad you asked. And yeah, so we have a lot of different fun activities here in this book for all of these different concepts, right? From very simple concepts like that to even fractions. I'm not sure if you saw at the end, we flicked through that very fast, but there were some great activities for fractions as well, involving paper folding, paper coloring. So please do the quiz at the end of today. We'll share you access to these materials and try them out in your classroom. You know, I think it's easy. You know, just listening or just thinking about it, it's not going to really clarify much. But if we actually try this out in our classroom with our students, that's how we're going to really get a good hands-on approach for it. And I assure you, if you start with the clapping and snapping activity, that's always a hit. We started our training with it. I'd encourage you start in your class with the clapping and snapping. It's a hit. And then there's so many more fun activities to follow after that. Thanks, Ruhi and Dr. Urmani. Okay, so let's go to this video because we've been showing you here, but what's actually happening inside the classroom is the most important thing. So let's go to this quick video, and then I'd love to hear your comments on the video before we wrap up for today.
Going to cover module 4.
All right.
We know about tens and ones,
Yeah.
but we are going to learn it in a different way. So one snap means 1 once.
Okay.
Right. And then
One
One
clap.
clap means 110.
110. All
Right?
right.
So here we go.
$42.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, it's your turn now.
Okay.
Give me some bigger number.
Bigger number. All right.
61.
You're right. High five.
Yes. I want my children to try this. Would you like to try this? Yeah. So let's get started. Start.
$555. Excellent. Let's start one game. Okay. First, you will start. Okay. $431. Excellent. Now my turn. $420. The game name is 100 tens and ones. Can we start? Yes. First, I will tell you how to play. Sketch pen is for hundreds. Okay. Ice cream stick for tens. And the matchstick is for ones. Can you make 154? 154? Yes. You have done wrong. I have said 54. You have 54. Yes, you have right. See. No, Ikshit, you are doing wrong. See. It just come here. Okay, can you write 154 on the copy? Yes. Okay, good. First my turn, then your turn. What is position of this shelf? Column D, row 4. Okay, now your turn. Where is this flower? Column C, 5, row 5. Excellent. Now your turn. Okay, where this is duck? A column, row 2. Hello Anushka, today we are going to do data handling. Okay, so are we going to ask the questions? Yes. How many children like orange color? Okay, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 30 children like orange color. You are right. How many children like red color? Let I count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 children like red colors. You are right. I will make pictures and you will tell how many sticks I have used. Okay. How many sticks I have used to create this pattern? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have used 9 mastics to create this pattern. You are correct. Now you will ask. Now tell how many I have used matchsticks to draw this pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You have used 11 sticks to make this pattern. Let's check. Yes, you are right.
Thank you everybody for watching that video with us. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'd love to hear your comments in the chat. What you found most interesting about that video. We saw some of the activities which Milit and I were doing, the clapping and snapping activity, and many more activities you saw there in the video happening in the classroom. So I'd love to hear your comments, your questions in the chat, any reflections on that video. Milita, would you like to share your thoughts as well? It's interesting that, you know, we've been doing this mainly in government schools, but now some private schools like CMS also taking it up. So it seems like this is really working across the board for kids from lots of different backgrounds. Right. Any comments from you? What was most interesting about this video for you?
See, basically the main thing that I could observe that is the whole class is engaged in the whole learning process. And generally what happens is when the teacher is teaching the whole class, so maybe a student or 2-3 students inside the classroom, maybe they are not understanding what the teacher is saying, or they are not paying attention to what the teacher is saying.
Yes.
But when I am sitting in pair with my with my partner,
yes,
and then I have to engage in this learning process, and I get to understand the whole problem of it, and it helps me to understand the concept very effectively.
Yeah.
So that's very powerful for me.
Yes, really good point. So in the normal setup, the whole class, many of the kids will not be paying attention, they'll not be understanding what's happening, whereas when they're learning in pairs, the understanding is definitely much deeper. So I'm just going to have a look in the chat, and I would love to encourage you to please share your thoughts on the video, share your thoughts and comments or any questions. What did you find most interesting as you had a look inside an ALfA classroom? Ruhi and Dr. Urmani already said it's wonderful, superb, thank you. But we'd love to hear other thoughts. And we also have, just while I'm waiting for your thoughts, Ruhi was asking earlier about the upcoming conference, or she was asking about is there some way to join offline as well. So I've just asked my team to post in the chat the link for the Leadership Circle event, which is coming up in 19th and 20th of February next year. So it's about 2 months away. So we'll be sharing the link for that. And if you are interested in the ALfA pedagogy, if you enjoyed today's and yesterday's sessions, you'd like to try it out in your schools, but you'd like to have more in-person discussion, training, workshops, then please do come and join us. It's going to be 2 very enjoyable days. We're going to hear from lots of people who are actually implementing ALfA. In UP, in HP, we've invited a lot of different teachers, different NGOs. So we'll be hearing from them about their experiences, brainstorming how to further improve the process as well. So please do join us for that. The link there has been shared, dignityeducation.org/circle. So please do check that out at the end of today. A nice comment here from Patrick. The activities are very exciting and engaging. Our experience in rural areas where pupils are many in the classroom, sometimes it is challenging for teachers, but it should be encouraged for sure. Thank you, Patrick. Really good comment. And like we saw earlier today, when the electricity went off, well, in the schools, especially in the rural areas, electricity going off, not being there, or having a really big class size. In India, we have often 60, 70 students in the class sometimes. So it's definitely not an easy job to be a teacher. Very fulfilling, very important job, but not an easy job. Milita, would you like to comment on this? Is it actually possible to do paired learning if you have such a big class? It's too much of the time is going just to control the kids, to stop making noise, all of this. So is it possible to do paired learning when you've got 60, 70 kids in a class?
See, definitely it is possible, and it may happen. Supposingly, the classroom that you are using is very small. So you can, for this time period when you are teaching them, through the ALfA way, you can take them out, make them sit on a veranda where they have little bit of space where they can, sit in pair and then focus. And it is definitely, when the children inside the classroom and when you are making them sit in pair, it becomes much more easier for the teacher to control the whole class.
Mm.
Because like I am sitting with my peer, so I'm regulating the whole learning process of my peer, and my peer is regulating my learning process. So it's like the role of the teacher is little bit, subdued, or no, it's not what is there in the traditional classroom. Again, as I would say, that we would be discussing it at length tomorrow, that how the role of the teacher is, or what's the role of the teacher inside the ALfA classroom. But it can be really an effective way, even when the classroom, the number of children are many more inside the classroom.
Yeah, really good point, Milita, that ALfA can actually reduce the teacher's workload, right? We've heard this from many teachers, that now my work is easier. Why? Because the kids are helping each other in pairs. So the teacher is no longer needed to, mark so many copies or everything. The kids are actually checking each other's work sometimes. The teacher is not needed to explain everything. The kids are explaining things to each other. So the teacher is still a very crucial part of the ALfA classroom. We're not saying, you can do it without the teacher, but the teacher's role has definitely shifted. And it's usually a much more fulfilling role, a role that's less about shouting and discipline and more about galvanizing and encouraging. So thanks, Patrick, for your comment. And Ruhi was saying every child was learning. That's right. Exactly. That's the goal of the ALfA classroom, is if they're learning in pairs, they're more actively engaged, and every child can be learning. You enjoy it very much. Thank you. So once again, encourage you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll get to see many more videos like this. We post them regularly, different experiences. I think we posted just yesterday one from Himachal Pradesh, and a few days before that from UP. So we are posting videos from around India, around the world. And please do share these videos with us as well. If you are implementing ALfA in your classroom, please do be in touch with us, share these videos, and we'll compile them, and maybe they'll be used in the next open online training. We'll be showing your videos here. So Laishram said, thank you so much for sharing such good activities, good ideas. Ruhi said, these activities are very beneficial for students. Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate that. And please do try these activities out. Let's not just talk about them, try them out in your classroom, and you'll see for yourself how enjoyable they are, and how meaningful, how engaging they are for the kids. So with that, we are almost at the end of our allocated time. So we're going to wrap it up very shortly. I'm going to ask my team to share the quiz link. So once we finish, please do go to the quiz, and just make sure you fill your name and email address correctly there, so that we can email you a soft copy of these materials and also a certificate of accomplishment from today's numeracy training. The quiz is just very short. It's about 5 minutes, 5 questions, I think. So it's very easy, straightforward, I hope. So the quiz link is there. So once we wrap up, please do go to that. And yes, do subscribe to our YouTube channel. So once again, I want to thank you so much for being here with us yesterday and today. And one more reminder that tomorrow we are joining again 4 to 6 p.m. same time for our final session on this. And this will be covering topics like what are the roles of a teacher in the ALfA classroom. So some do's and don'ts. We'll also be talking about these Tina and Toto puppets. I think Milita was mentioning yesterday that these puppets are used for homework, they're used for reading. We'll be talking a bit more about that. So lots of great activities and great content to come tomorrow as well. So please do join us tomorrow and share this link with your friends and colleagues. I'm just reading another couple of comments, and then I'm going to hand over to you, Milita, to conclude. So Patrick said, these trainings showed that nothing can be achieved if pupils' behavior management is not enhanced. I can see it requires teachers to organize class and pupils before everything. Yeah, really good comment, Patrick. So we'll be delving into this a lot more depth tomorrow of, classroom behavior management and teachers' roles, but you're spot on. And ALfA, it's, the idea is we are changing the social environment of the classroom away from one where the students are competing with each other for the teacher's attention to one where they're helping each other, they're collaborating with each other. That's the goal. It's not easy. I'm not pretending that it's just, a magic bullet that you just try this out and all your problems go away. It's not easy, but we have found, even in very challenging contexts here in India, contexts where there's multiple ages, there's multiple learning levels within the classroom, there's big classes, there's a lack of infrastructure, we found that teachers have shared with us that it's been very, very effective, even in those contexts. So thank you so much for your time with us today. Milita, over to you to say the concluding words.
Okay, thank you for everyone for joining this session live, and it was really interesting how you all were, joining with us live, putting your thoughts on with us, and sharing your thoughts with us, and putting your thoughts on the chat. It was really awesome to have you all, and really looking forward to having you tomorrow also on discussing how to handle or tackle the whole classroom of an alpha classroom, because that's little bit different but an effective classroom that can be managed, and that can be, that definitely helps to transform how the children are learning. So we'll definitely wait for you tomorrow, same time, 4 p.m. IST. At the same, we'll be sharing the third link with you in your WhatsApp groups and everywhere. Please do join tomorrow, and we will definitely together transform how the children learn. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Once again, good afternoon, namaskar, salam alaikum, and goodbye.
If 90 days could make the world literate, would you not do it? Hi, I'm Sunita Gandhi from India. I come from a family of educators running the world's largest school. About 70% of the children in low and middle income countries cannot read since the pandemic. Unfortunately, the situation was far from ideal even before the crises. We need to ask ourselves, how is it that hundreds of millions of children are unable to read even after completing 5 years of schooling? We are facing a global literacy emergency. This requires immediate action. The question is what? We believe a key factor in this crisis is the lack of a transformative pedagogy. Outdated teaching methods are holding back the future of the majority of the world's children. We rarely question these methods. After 8 years of experimentation and refinement, we have developed a program called ALfA, Accelerating Learning for All. ALfA is 10x faster. Children and adults are becoming both literate and numerate in under 45 days. ALfA fosters, by design, the 6C skills of collaboration, communication, critical thinking, creativity, character, and world citizenship. Children use existing materials such as beans, stones, leaves. ALfA does not rely upon unknown sight words. It also does not teach letters and sounds in isolation. Learning to read begins with the identification of known pictures and their corresponding first sounds. Children add sounds to make complete words from the very beginning. They work in pairs and take turns to make new words. We have discovered that the children learn faster this way. Without the need for letter recognition, children save 2 years or more. They get to read some 400 words within the first 15 days of ALfA. This sustains the children's interest in reading at higher levels. An ALfA teacher acts primarily as a galvanizer. For example, they pair up children randomly. They provide clear explanations for the tasks that the children need to perform in their pairs. The program's materials are tailored to paired learning, with small modules that scaffold from simple to complex and that build on prior knowledge of the child. The children are able to generate and solve a far greater number of questions and learn from each other when they're given the agency to co-create their own learning. The outcomes are visible very quickly. We took a group of 5 to 7-year-olds to the Press Club of India in Delhi, where they read that day's newspapers in both Hindi and English. The children's ability to read the difficult language of the newspapers at such a young age surprised everyone present. Field results from the ALfA program are documented in a recent book by Harvard Graduate School of Education. In the first randomized controlled trial for government schools, the effect size was 0.23 for grade 3 and a whopping 0.89 for grade 5 just after 40 days. This exceeds the year-round